I click go live.
All right. Welcome to another episode of the AI Vtuber Podcast. I'm Thunder Nugget. I am not an AI VTuber. I'm not a dev. All right. Who'd like to go next?
Hey guys, I'm Yuru the Frog. What's up?
Great intro. I love it. I'm Karai. I'm a dev, and Finner's here is just doing totally non-sus poses. We don't worry about that.
Yeah, and
Man, what's she doing?
We don't worry about what she's doing.
Okay, sorry.
I'm Devin, and I do AI VTuber stuff. I fucked up this one. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what to say.
It's okay. Before we went live, we were all talking about all the cool stuff that's been happening this month in AI VTuber stuff, because there was a lot of stuff happening because of Halloween and everything. There were a lot of cool events that we missed. In fact, there was a Hilda stream that I just missed that was apparently pretty funny.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk about it?
Sure.
I love that she's cussing us out at the end. That's the only part I really saw.
Yeah, I made sure there's some changes to the filter, but it's okay. Anyway, so basically the goal with this stream was to have either do presentations, right? Like the kind of presentations you would have to do at school, right? Do you guys know what I mean?
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the ones you had to do in front of the class and right. And basically, my goal with that was to replicate a type of video. I'm sure if you can show this on stream. Let me see. Do you guys know JShrat?
Do you know what?
With him.
Oh yeah, the Laminator.
Right, it's. Let me send the link.
Okay, I think Finner's is blowing a kiss now. Maybe.
Basically, the idea behind it was to have a way for the AI to make scuffed presentations, right?
Oh.
But that would be funny,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
I
yeah,
love
actual
them,
PowerPoint.
Yeah, basically PowerPoint. That's the entire thing.
The pixelated
It's fun.
images really sealed the deal.
It's not intentional, but it's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, were any of you able to catch Aiko's return stream? It was on like Halloween or the day before. I think I was only able to tune in for a few minutes. I'm glad Aiko is back though.
Yeah, same. Same. I'm not sure what's behind the scenes, right, when it comes to that, but you know, it's
Yeah.
good to see Aiko is back.
Oh crap!
Yeah,
First
yeah,
it
I'm
starts
glad
2
that-
seconds.
Yeah, I'm glad Yuru is back too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love all the sound effects and how they're used. I think all this. I don't know this. I think it's funny how each AI has like their own unique take on doing the sound effects, which I think is cool. But yeah,
I think Yuru, you've been doing a lot of cool shit right now recently, like
Totally.
with all that is 3D and stuff. I think you're really pushing the envelope when it comes to this.
I appreciate it. No, you too, man. I noticed. What was it? Hilda had like an internal thought process. I thought that was pretty cool. I've been doing something kind of similar, where we analyze the latest messages that in the conversation, and sort of like perceive like what would like what's going through her mind, or potentially going through her mind, sort of just like have a rough like stream of consciousness kind of thing going.
Hmm. Right, because I think the reason why I did it at first is to try and prevent the AI just spiraling into only one topic, and or at least how do I say this, spiraling into certain patterns, right? So having giving the AI a possibility to have a step back, right, and influence the next messages. I think that was the reason why I decided to do that.
Yeah, what do you call that?
Yeah.
I call it perception, like in my code, but like I don't
I
don't
guess
even
reflection. Reflection would be better.
reflection.
Reflection. That could get a little confusing sometimes if you're like, I know Java has like stuff where Java reflection where you're like having the code look at the code. But I guess that also kind of fits if the AI is looking at what the AI is saying.
Yeah, but basically that's the act of reflecting on yourself, right?
Yeah.
I think there's more stuff like this that could be done, but I think you need to first see the areas where it could actually lead to benefits, right? You don't want to put reflection on everything.
Yeah, it's just about being more dynamic.
Yeah.
I've been trying to give more autonomy to my AI. I just started doing it for like, like creating roles, setting the title. I'd like to start like, hey, I want to play Tetris now. Then she'll just start playing Tetris, like just like stuff like that to like increase chat interaction, just to make the stream more dynamic.
I think peak AI VTuber, also peak AI VTuber autonomy would be something like the AI wants to do something, right? And it writes a script and it shows it on stream, right? And the script works. I think that would be the peak of it, but I don't think we have the ability to do it yet, right? I don't think it would work in one go.
Like a screenplay or something?
But technically, if the AI, for example, like if the AI wants to play Tetris, right? It would write its own Tetris and it could display it on stream.
Oh my god.
And play it with its own controls.
I could see it like making stuff for like small tasks right now being possible, but yeah, something as big as like programming itself how to play Tetris, I don't think we're anywhere close to that yet.
Because right now, what you would have to do is create the controls for each game you want to integrate, right?
Yeah.
That's basically what's been happening. But having the AI itself be able to create something that's going to revolve around how the AI is going to interact with it, maybe it could work, but it's I'm not sure if we're there yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe a good like in-between option would be like to have an arcade theme where you give the AI like a choice between a couple of games. I don't know, there'd be like a Mystic Merge stand and a Tetris stand. I guess it would.
Yeah, it's a start.
Minecraft. Yeah, the I was thinking the Hild Arcade Night would be a funny title.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Night Museum, night
and
at
an
the Hild
ONU
Arcade.
table, of course. How could I forget ONU? Yeah. Oh, and we were talking before about the Cyber Alice RPG and how that was really fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah. Especially like word games and narrative games really I think are the strong point for an AI too, because they are extensions of the language model instead of a whole new interface. And there's all sorts of like interactions with chat that could be experimented with and formats.
Yeah, there's still definitely a lot of different things we can experiment with.
Yeah.
think it's all about trying to find the IDs, right? It's at this point, I think it's less about the execution of it and more how do you explore the space, right?
Yeah, I definitely think that's one of the advantages of our community compared to Neuro. What other advantages do we have as a community?
Is that something you want to abort as a topic?
Yeah, or just, I don't know. That was one of the questions I didn't get around to asking last time.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know what they are. Because I'm not really that deep into the neuro community, so I can't really tell you.
Yeah, same. I think I'm one of the few people in like the group that's probably not in the neuro servers, actually. I don't join servers very much.
Yeah, neuro's quite mainstream now. I like when it comes to VTubing. So it's, I mean, we don't really have any advantages aside from our chat doesn't spam with 50 messages every second.
Yeah, that's all I was gonna say. Is
Like,
like that's the only thing I could think of.
I think there's actually quite a few advantages. Number one, we can experiment with all sorts of different formats without having to worry about mainstream success and all that. Number two, we have a lot of different people from different cultural backgrounds with and different walks of life. We can do all sorts of stuff with that. And what was it? What was the other one? Oh, and yeah, community interaction, of course. Oh, and having two AIs talk together a lot. I think that's a really cool, fun little system to iron out.
Yeah, but definitely going to be the one thing that sticks out from what Neuro has been doing, I think.
Yeah, like you can see Neuro and Evil talk to each other all the time, but it's like, those are two AIs programmed by the same person.
Yeah.
But the same background. Whereas we each have our own unique background we put into our AIs.
Yeah. And let's see. My other question was, what are the advantages and disadvantages of local AI versus cloud-based? And I think all of your AIs are local, right?
No.
No.
I switched to Azure.
I think Devin has a way worse GPU than I do, actually. So, Devin, you have a 2060, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, basically mine is all API. Okay, so the advantage is for APIs in particular is you can do concurrent requests. Basically, you can have you can send two. How do I say this? Basically, on a GPU, your GPU time is going to be on only one model, right? So if you want to send two requests two requests to the large language model, you have to wait before the first request is finished before you can start the second one. But with APIs, you can send two requests and they're going to be processed in parallel. And so you're going to receive the responses faster. I think that's basically the best advantage of this. And that's basically it, I think.
Yeah, so I think the advantages for running local are the main one is like not having to pay like monthly subscription fees, stuff like that. I think it can also depend on depending on what server you're connecting to, a server could go down, especially if you're using like multiple APIs. Like if you're using a different one for text to speech, different one for the LLM, etc. If one of those goes down, then that's different things that could go wrong, making your stream not work. Whereas on your own system, you don't have to worry about some other server. If your stuff stops working, then sure, everything's not working, but it's only one thing that would go wrong instead of a bunch of different things. That's also one thing that could go wrong, even with the API stuff. It could go wrong in addition to APIs if you're going that route.
I will say, if you care about censorship at all, then local would be the way to go typically. I'll say that Burnt's first few models were local, and she was absolutely batshit insane just because I could feed her whatever data I wanted. But if we're using services like Azure, then we have to be careful with like the training data that we provide.
Yeah, it's like I want Fenris to be able to like say almost whatever she wants, as long as it's not against TOS. It's like it's I feel like it'd be more difficult to be able to get an API based large language model to swear, for example. Or if I want Fenris to be flirty, that's less likely to happen on an API, whereas find a local one that's specifically designed for that, and it's not a problem.
I guess it depends because, for example, I'm using fine tuning with OpenAI, right? So OpenAI is pretty strict, okay, when it comes to this. But yeah, once I had a training data set that was too much for OpenAI, so they had to cut me off.
But what was that last part?
Yeah, the data set was too much for OpenAI. I think it was containing too much bullying or something like this for them. So they had to cancel the training.
Azure will do the same thing.
Yeah, but yeah, right now Hilda is still running OpenAI. To be fair, the margin is it's not too bad, right? You can still have wiggle room, right? But you can't have full and uncensored AI.
Does Burnt Melba still have an input filter like she used to? Where like I remember there was a part where like I think she's like hardwired to think that 4chan is actually Webkins.
What?
Or something.
Yeah,
like whenever I think it was like whenever someone typed that in the input, she would think that was a misspelling of the word Webkins, but she still knew what 4chan was if she wanted to talk about it herself.
Hey, that's supposed to come on. You're revealing my trade secrets, guy.
Sometimes I feel like going back and playing Webkins again.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking again, Yuru, how did you find the right balance of what you think is crazy and reasonable with this new setup? Because I know that was a big part of why you decided to update, right?
Yeah. So it's partially like switching over to it. I went from a local to I've switched over from a few different methods. Like I've used Phi and Llama, but right now we're using Azure just for like latency stuff and concurrent calls.
Well, isn't
okay.
But her data. Yeah, I don't know. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I sort of just like get inspiration from, I don't know, like different VTubers and I guess like shows and stuff. I don't really know. Just like watch different VTubers and stuff. Just get ideas and make data with that.
I get what you mean, because I used to watch a lot of Neuro, and I think way too much Neuro. And at some point, the ideas I came up with was actually just straight up copy pasta, right? So yeah, I can see there's a lot of potential with looking everywhere instead of just looking at one method.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, like, I get a lot of inspiration from watching any of you guys. When I'm working, like, I feel like I haven't been working on Fenris enough, and I'm like, oh man, I kind of miss it. And then I like watch a clip compilation of Beetle, or I watch like a little bit of one the streams from people in our group, and I'm like, man, I need to get back to this. I miss it. I miss it. I need to get back to it. Have so many ideas.
It is strangely addicting.
It really is, especially like when I was like not working on her for a while because I was just trying to catch up on clipping VODs, which I am now starting to not care about anymore. Because I just want to work on Fenris. I was like, I lost the momentum, and now like every time I start working on it again, I'm like, oh, that momentum's building again. It's happening. like usually I like test the large language model like off stream for like I run a few tests on it, see if it passes like 3 different things I have. Then I'll test it on stream to get better data on if I like it for the streams or not. I was just doing both of that live yesterday on stream because I tested through one and I figured out I didn't really like it that much. So I'm like, oh, I don't really have another one loaded up, but I have more I want to test. Hey Chad, do you want me to test those live right now? They're like, yes, do it. I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be terrifying. I found one that can actually give me short responses, which is
Oh, really?
exciting.
Is it?
What was that?
Yeah, the assistant type models are very very chatty.
Yeah, I've noticed the roleplay ones are so. The roleplay ones are ones that are more likely to give the short responses. But it's also like it can also be hit or miss. They could give short responses or just decide to give you like a screenplay, like they're trying to be Shakespeare and write a whole script.
Yeah, I know when I was using a Novel AI, the issue I had was the responses were too short every time. So it's a bit of an issue.
Yeah. See, I've had the other issue. So this one so far has been giving me like 1 sentence responses in what little testing I have done. Which I like a variety of responses, but I do also have it like set in my personality prompt, trying to like steer the ones that gave me too big responses. I do have it listed, give me one sentence or even one word sometimes responses. So I think it's really actually picking up on that in this model, whereas in the other ones it didn't really focus on that as much. So I think if I like change that line a little bit, it'll give me more variety.
Well, technically, it's better to have shorter responses than longer ones, because something can be too long. But
oh yeah,
right. If it's too short, you can always chain multiple short ones.
Yeah, like I want most responses to be like a sentence, and occasionally like maybe 2 or 3 sentences. But like I don't want a whole essay like Fenris is known to do a lot.
Also, long responses take a lot longer.
Say that again.
Usually, it takes a lot longer to get a response if it's long.
Yeah, it takes longer to generate, and also doing things locally, it takes longer for text to speech. Though I've also swapped her back to the Windows text to speech after running a poll on my server. People wanted faster responses instead of the nicer voice. So I'm like, all right, back to Windows it is until I get a better GPU.
Yeah, basically, I'm streaming everything. When it comes to LLM responses and TTS responses. So the length of the response is usually not going to play a role into it. But I still got like 1 second of latency, which is too much for me.
Yeah, I think it's still like if I tell Brent to tell me a story, she'll take longer to think. Usually, to get to like the first byte or first sentence.
Yeah.
And what I do is I stream the LLM and then as soon as I get a sentence, that's when I send it to the TTS.
Yeah, same.
It's like I don't do any streaming yet because I think the streaming is supposed to use up more GPU power usually, which my computer can't handle, but I have noticed like different models have very much different times. Like somehow when I was running like ones that are based on Llama 2, 7 billion parameter model, I run like a Q4 KM quantization. It would take a while to generate the response on like 24 layers on my GPU, the rest on CPU. Running a Llama 3 model of 8 billion parameters, so it's more load on my VRAM, but actually, well, less load on my VRAM because I had to put more of it on my CPU because I don't have as much VRAM. It's somehow faster because I guess it's just better trained or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the back end of those LLMs that make it that difference in speed when it's a bigger LLM.
I think weights do have something to do with it. I'm not sure exactly how, but I don't really know exactly.
Yeah. There's like yesterday I noticed that some of the models I tested were like they would give me like 2 or 3 sentences and it would be generated like almost immediately. Like it felt like less than a second of latency for the LLM generation, and then like the Windows text to speech is like was super fast. So I was like, wow, that's impressive latency right there. I did not expect I'd ever have this low latency on my GPU. And then that same large language model would generate like an essay, which would then take like 10 seconds for it to generate that. I'm like, okay, that feels better. That feels more of what I expect.
I mean, to be fair, if you're streaming, it's going to add latency to it.
I mean, when I have like the live stream or
Yeah.
yeah, not the streaming the LLM, but like streaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something like with my testing before, like when I made her previous text to speech setup, like I had things running on GPU, it was fine. I was like, oh yeah, I still have enough VRAM left to stream with. Start streaming and then things just lag and freeze, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, even if you have enough VRAM, it's the data
Course.
bus that is limited in size, so you can't push too much through it.
What's limited in size?
The data bus.
Oh yeah. Like the PCIe?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that should be fine though for my system. So, I mean, I have PCIe 4 and I only have 2060 Super, so it's not like my GPU is not even close to maxing that out.
That's interesting. Weight refers to like the training data, right? How much they put weight on it, or like value a phrase.
Yeah. So if it's like you could weight a model to just parrot back what you said, and you could get that to be really fast. Like, I mean, it just it's kind of like how it thinks about the different word, like how it would choose between the different words. Like it's gonna want to go with the value that it's typically going to go with the higher value, right? So the higher value is typically going to be like the most generic response.
Yeah,
And
that's like probability based though. Like it doesn't always go with the higher value. Sometimes go with the lower ones, and then you can at the higher temperature, more likely it's just like lower values.
right. So if we fine tune it, then we can. If we fine tune it, we can change the weights for whichever different words or tokens of words that we're choosing.
So remember, there's like one stream I did like before I met any of you guys. I was still like testing out some of the like 7 billion parameter large language models, and before I was doing that, like I did actually do like a stream with and like a few tests using OpenAI and ChatGPT, and like I set the temperature up to 2.0, which it said was the max, and the responses I was getting from that was just complete gibberish, like just random tokens that didn't even fit together to make words or even letters. It's just random characters all over the place. And so like I warned my chat, I was like, do you guys want like on one of the local ones I was testing, I was like, do you guys want to see what happens at 2? temperature? I'm warning you guys, it's gonna be insane. And they're like, yeah, show us. I'm like, all right, here you go. And she just got very, very flirty. And that was like not in her personality at the time either. She was not told to be flirty. But I increased her temperature, and it's like I increased some other kind of temperature. It's like, what is happening here? Like,
That's funny.
like different. That's something that, like a friend of mine, who when I was getting into this, like decided to get a 4090, start getting to like playing around with AI VTuber stuff without actually making an AI VTuber. Um, they told me that like different parameters will affect different large language models like very differently. It's like temperature can mean different things for different large language models. Like max P or top K or whatever, or the top K, top P, min P, those type of things can also like have very different effects for each LLM.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
going to be honest. I have no idea what this means. I've never
So,
touched them.
yeah, I haven't touched them much. I usually when I do my testing, I like change the temperature a few times on each large language model, get a set of data, and move to the next one I want to test. And I like save logs. Eventually, I'm gonna go through and read them, figure out which one I've liked the most. And then from there, I'm going to like see what happens when I change those other variables a little bit. So like I have a list. I got frequency penalty, presence penalty. I know what those two do. Top K, top P, min P, typical P, and repeat penalty. I don't know what each of those do that are separate from each other. I kind of like have an idea of like what they're supposed to do, but how that will actually affect things in in production, I don't know. I know in theory, but not in practice. Which could be two
Yeah,
very different things.
It's really a black box, eh?
Yeah, it depends. Depends like how varied you want your responses to be, and like how many. Like, do you want all the possibilities of words, or do you want only 10% of the possibility of potential words?
Yeah, that's
That kind of stuff.
like what? That's like top K. It's like the top that's set to 40 by default in Llama CPP Python. So it's like the top 40 responses, and then like my theory or my understanding, I haven't really actually seen like math on how it does it, but my theory is it uses the top K to figure out, all right, these are top 40 probabilities of what the next token would be. And they take that list and then use temperature to randomize which one I would choose. The higher temperature, more likely it will go down the list. Instead of choosing the one all the way at the top, that's the most likely. The lower temperature, like if you set temperature 0 or maybe negative, depending on the large language model or system you're using, it will always choose that first one. And so it will have no randomization. In which case you don't even need top K.
So how does the weight connect to the memory and the learning aspect of the model? Does it have to be trained each time you want it to learn?
I haven't worked on memory, so I'll leave that question to someone else.
Well, it depends. Like, what do you mean by learn? Like, remember a certain thing, or respond to things differently? Because there's different things. Typically, what you'll want to do is fine tuning for how you want them to respond, or like this, like their pros or
their behaviors.
Their behaviors, that kind of stuff. And if you want to like tell them something like a fact or something they should remember, typically that would go in like a system prompt or in the context somewhere.
Like usually there's vectors for like the long-term memory, right?
Yeah, usually that's going to be vector databases.
Yeah.
So you can use an input, which might be the query from the user. And you put that as the vector query, and you pull out everything that is relevant to the query. Also, you might want to pull things from the context itself instead of just the query.
Huh. Interesting. So, does the memory and the database connect at all? I'm guessing vector means like a connection, right?
Now, vector database, it's the type of it's how the data is stored. Basically, each
Okay.
It's like a
each
3D database, kind of, right?
yeah, basically it's the input is processed to be represented as vectors, which are basically 2 points in 3D space. Or is it 1?
I thought it was 3.
That's a direction. It's a direction in
Oh wait, I guess it could be like. I'm kind of like thinking of Unity right now. Like you could have vector 2 or vector 3 or vector 4.
yeah. Vector 2 is vector 3. Is it going to be vector 3s or vector 2s in vector database?
I'm not
I
sure.
think vector 3. Basically, a vector 3 is going to represent a direction in a 3D space. And when you have multiple vector 3s, then you have a... basically, that's so weird to explain.
Yes, similar tokens will be near each other in vector space.
Yeah.
So if you go over, like we look up the word dog, say that's a token. We might have like wolf over by there, and in the exact
Oh,
opposite corner we might have something like cat, because I mean dogs, or maybe not even cat. Like cat would be like adjacent to that, and then
yeah.
the exact opposite of that would be like calculator or something, and that would be in the exact opposite direction in 3D space for vector.
So Dev, I had a question. You mentioned that for using memory, sometimes you'll like use a query, sometimes you want to use the actual context from the input instead. Wouldn't we usually want to use both though?
Yeah, that's the optimal way of doing it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Right, because if you only pull memories from the query itself, then it lacks context on the...
Yeah, it's just responding to it's just it's an ADHD brain like mine, where it's like, let me
basically that's
recount a story from my past. Oh, well, that has nothing to do with what you asked me. I don't care.
which basically I'm not doing, but I should do it. But yeah, what I'm using is not actually a vector database, because the last one I used took way too long to respond. I think it was taking like 250 milliseconds for each query.
Are you using the embeddings on OpenAI?
No, I was using VectorDB, which is local. But I think it doesn't scale well.
I use the embeddings on OpenAI for like work. We call them hack weeks at work, where it's like we spend a week to do like something other than our normal task. We try and make something new. And yeah, I used like the vectors and embeddings in OpenAI, and it was so slow. There were times when I was like, is it broken? Like, is it broken? It would take like minutes to get us a response back.
Minutes.
Granted, it was a huge data set we were trying to use, and what I basically had to do, cause like the data set was hitting the limit, I had to do embeddings of embeddings, which was not fun. It was insane. But yeah, it would take a couple of minutes, and this is with like an enterprise level account. So these accounts usually have like some kind of processing priority as well.
Yeah, no, you would expect the vector database to be way faster than a typical database, but
yeah,
apparently it doesn't scale that well. At least I'm.
Well, I guess it was doing the calculations for the embeddings on OpenAI as well as slow, not the actual like lookup.
Oh. So how big are these databases that you have, or how big databases would you recommend to people?
Yeah, don't you kind of set the size for vector databases, and like kind of overwrites or like tries to like older stuff kind of gets lost a little bit over time unless it gets reinforced. The bigger you set the parameters, the better its memory. If I'm understanding vector databases right. I haven't worked with them much.
I'm not sure. What I'm using is basically I run my own database, but basically it's it looks up keywords instead of vectors. So it's not gonna have the same effect as looking up stuff, similar stuff in vector space, right? But if for example you want to talk about topic like dog, right? If you say dog in a query, it's going to pull out everything fine, right?
Right. I'm actually doing something similar. I'm using SQLite.
Yeah.
And
I think SQLite might be better for this.
in terms of data size, Verint's database is only 100 megabytes. That's just storing like all of her perceptions and all the incoming chats and her responses.
Mine is like 5 megabytes.
So yeah, not that big.
No, but I'm summarizing everything before putting it into the database. So it might play a role.
I see.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Let's see, what is it? Who are some smaller AIs that you'd like to shout out, or you think you find cool, or you hope that have potential?
I think Project Viola has a big potential.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Project Viola. It's made by Void.
I think I heard that name recently.
But yeah, that's one with Gabi, or
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Little,
I think he has some good ideas.
Yeah, like the camera switching. He switches over to the little orc guy for the one-liners. You know, it's kind of cool.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I think Viola integrates sound. Sorry, I was just gonna say I like Viola's sound effects out of probably the best out of everyone. But I just think that's how well they're integrated.
And for sure, yeah, he got a lot of things right before doing his first stream. So I think he's going to get things right again and again.
Yeah, and also Navi is lazy. That one is really chatty, but it like uses GPU or something to like turn down the latency way much. I don't know. And stuff. And whom else? Prudicat is back now too for a bit, has been. His AI, Sufi, is still like an assistant type character, pretty smart and knows like caches about the reactions and game stuff. Let's see, whom else? Oh, okay, I wrote down. Oh yeah, Dr. Starwatcher also.
Yeah,
and and Blame the Media, of course. But
yeah,
Dr. Starwatcher.
Mr. Starwatcher is no, it's Dr. Starwatcher. It's the one with the eye with I think it's white hair, right? And the background is whispered. Yeah, this one is very good, very good.
Oh, shit. I haven't seen.
You should. It looks very, very nice. It looks very on point. Like it doesn't look scuffed at all, right? It looks very professional. And the voice is pretty good. The model too.
Yeah. I like the little text to speech they got going too. Yeah.
I think Kurai has potential. I'm still small.
No, I totally agree though. I like that the whole sibling rivalry.
God. I don't know if it's a rivalry. It's just Fenris being mean to me and me just coping.
Oh no, it's good though.
Yeah, I need to polish that more, or not polish, but like perfect that more on her eventually.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's been
think you're
going
doing a
well in
good
the.
job of it, though.
I think you're in my Discord server. Have you seen the things Finner says?
Do you
Oh,
have
I
a
haven't
link to
really
Discord?
interacted with her much on
What,
Discord.
what was that, Dev?
Do you have a link to your Discord?
Yeah, if I do the exclamation mark Discord, it's the shapes version of her, not like a locally run version, but it's kind of how it's kind of similar to how I want her to be on my streams, like the length, the way she like just randomly insults me sometimes. Um, though she does a little bit too much advertising of my streams in Throne. I got it. At least she doesn't do it every single message. Not like Dolly, constantly begging for donations.
Ooh. Shots fired.
in Cinna server. That's just a part of Dolly's personality though in there. I love it. Which I find it an interesting contrast. It's like I see that I get used to that Dolly in Cinna server, and then I see Dolly on Excelsis streams, and I'm like, this is a very different Dolly. She's not begging for money at all.
Yeah, the Discord. I mean, I kind of guess it makes sense. People are type differently than they are on stream.
They're what differently?
What? Yeah, because like the people are different on Discord than they are being live streamed.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, a lot of people.
Because I type up these huge essays on Discord.
Oh God, yeah, I definitely prefer emails over calling people when I can. That way I can like essay, um, for anything at all, anything official, especially. Whereas if I had to call a company for something, I feel like I'm a lot nicer when I don't want to be, because I'm angry. Guys, I'm not assertive.
Yeah. I always take way too long writing my emails.
Oh yeah, me too.
If only. Oh yeah, I don't even write them as elaborately as Discord messages.
I also have ADHD. There's been a couple times. It doesn't matter where it is. It will happen anywhere. There's one time I was typing something in Mir, and Mir's like, "Uh-oh, you've been typing for a while. Kurai, what are you writing?" And there was one time I was like my boss at my previous company was like asked me to go on a different contract that required me to go like back to working in person, and I didn't want to do that. And so I was like typing out my reasons why, and like after like 10 minutes of me typing, my boss was just like, "You've been typing for a while. Should I be scared?" I'm like, maybe.
Let's see. Do we have any questions from chat? Anything they want to know about?
Oh, I see this. There's this one from Mir that says Mirni arrive. I don't know what that question means. Oh, there's one from Senna that also says Mirni arrive. I don't know what those questions mean. Also, Senna, happy birthday.
Oh, it's Senna's birthday. Happy birthday, Senna.
Happy birthday, Shiro.
Yeah, happy birthday.
All right, Armain is thinking. Thurman is thinking. Wait, Senna, why are you crying? That's my job. It's in my name, Karai.
Can you cry?
Dang.
I can sad.
Can you do it like on stream right now?
Yeah, I got a sad face.
Oh.
I also have like an angry face that like I almost never use those because I use like face tracking for my facial expression, so I can do happy. It makes my tail wag a little faster. I can do surprised. Also makes my tail wag faster. And then angry and sad, I just can't really do good facial expressions in real life for those. Maybe I just don't get angry or sad enough in real life. I don't know. Like I don't. Like if I like furrow my brows for angry, I tested that for a while and like off stream, and I noticed that like anytime I look over to my left screen when I had those set up, the face tracking would think I was doing an angry face, and I was just like I'm not always angry at chat. I'm just most of the time angry at chat.
So how do you animate the emotions of your AI? I imagine that is way more difficult than people think it is.
I have not done emotions with Fenris yet. I do plan on it. So that friend I mentioned earlier who like got into this stuff just for fun. Actually, I started getting into it for streaming. He actually had like this setup for emotions, where like it was like basically another prompt. I don't remember if it's like, I think it's based on the output that says like all right, based on this, how would you change these four emotional states or something like that, and assign numbers to it, like plus or
Yeah,
minus certain amounts, and then use that to determine future outputs as well. So I'm probably gonna do something similar, and also use that for Fenris's facial expressions, because she does have facial expressions that people have never seen yet.
I'm basically doing the same for this, right? You just plug whatever Hilda said into another LLM. I wait for the answer, and basically I'm giving the LLM a list of emotions she can feel, and it's going to return a list of emotions that are felt by the AI. Right, and then these emotions are triggering toggles basically for Life 2D.
Yeah.
How about you, Euro? I know was it true that Burnt Melba used to have like uh each emotion was a different LLM that could have a shared memory?
Wait, what?
Yeah, she at one point she had 7 different fine tunes that she could choose from.
So she could like swap to different LLMs on her own?
It was actually just depending on the emotion that was detected from her previous response.
But she was basically swapping LLMs on her own though, based on her emotions? Or
Yeah,
I'm just,
that was a while ago though. Now we just have one.
that's pretty cool sounding though. I mean, it sounds like more than what's needed, but that does sound pretty cool.
She, yeah, that was when she was way more psychotic. She's a lot less psychotic now, so.
I love me some psychosis. Ugh. Hold on, the sun is moving. I need to change my blinds around. Try and keep as much of them point down, let some sunlight and heat in here as I can. It's getting cold again.
Yeah, she had different prompts for each of her different personalities. We actually it could be fun to do that again. Actually, we could do that.
Yeah. So I've noticed some other AIs, they do have happiness scores.
What?
How does that work?
I don't know. Personally, I don't feel like it's needed. I think it comes from the idea that alright, let me rephrase. I don't know. It's a way for chat to interact with the AI. Basically, it's another way for chat to influence how the AI is going to act.
Yeah,
But
so
it's not really needed, right? I think
Yeah.
LLMs do a good job at inferring how they should act based on the context. I think at some point in the past it might have been a good thing to have, but it's not something that's necessary, right? It's something you can have, but it's not something that's going to be necessary.
yeah, it's just sort of like sentiment analysis.
Oh, okay, so it's like a whole other layer.
Yeah, it's just more dynamic stuff that you can put in there. You don't really need it.
What are some good games or activities you would recommend other channels to play with an AI?
Oh, sorry. What's the question?
Yeah, what was that question? Sorry, I was distracted by
Right,
Burnt.
yeah. Oh, I was just gonna ask, like, what games do you have? Any games you'd recommend to play with an AI on stream that you like?
I think like turn-based games are pretty good. Um,
Oh,
I would like to do some more with that. If it's like a slow-paced game, it's actually pretty good because you can just like talk to the AI, and if it's
Yeah, yeah.
turn-based, then you can just like stand there.
have you heard of the Endless games, like Endless Legends, Endless Space?
Oh no, I don't know what that is.
Okay, so they're kind of similar to this the Civ games, Civilization games. In my opinion, they're way better. I wonder if it. I wonder how interesting it'd be to program AIs to play that. Which I mean, to be
Ooh,
fair, they
I've
have their
actually
own
heard
built-in
about those
AIs, but
games.
yeah, I'd
I
love to.
like to listen to the music of
Oh,
them. They have that
is
on
it
Oh,
like
YouTube.
the
is that
Endless
like
Legend has
Risk?
one of my favorite ones. No, so they're like 4x or 5x strategies. So like you have like industry, science, dust is the money. There's like another one for like trade stuff.
Yeah, like a strategic games could work. I feel like that would require a bit more nuance to implement that.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's like less things that it needs to be able to know how to interact with than like a 3D open world game.
Oh yeah, now that's hard.
Yeah. I imagine, Minecraft is a common one to teach AIs to play, but when you think about what goes into that, it's like all the different tools, all the different, blocks. That's taking like the whole vision of like what is everything on the screen, all that. Whereas like one of those strategy games is just like, all right, I currently have these resources. I'm able to do these things. I have like 5 things I can press on.
So I think in terms of like ease and potential for like content stuff, just playing games with the AI is probably just the easiest. Um, just like, hey, what do you think about this game? What should we do here? Or I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh, you mean like having the AI watch you play a game?
Yeah, and if you have a vision module,
Yeah.
put that on there.
That's actually like one of my main goals for Fenris. I know I'm not gonna be able to do that on my current PC. Um, I'm 100% sure I cannot do that on this PC, as I'm just staring down at it in disappointment.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was like when I first started working on this stuff. One of my things was I am pretty much only gonna do, like I myself at least, I'm pretty much only going to do collabs, whether it's with Fenris or someone else. That's kind of the plan for Fenris as well. Occasionally, I might have her do her own solo streams, but like if I'm streaming, Fenris is going to be there. If I'm not streaming with like a different group of people, like I would love to play more games on stream and have Fenris there commenting on my gameplay, probably roasting me even when I'm doing a good job, knowing her. But say balls? What do you mean say balls? Oh, you want Burnt to say balls? I think.
Honestly, I don't really know about games because I don't make Hilda play many games. So the ones she played, well, I'm still, I kind of try to make her play Doom, but it's
Oh yeah, that was
I
fun.
need to rework it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not. Hilda is not really playing games. It's more like I'm trying to find the sandboxes where I can just put her in there and she can shine, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like tier lists, stuff like browsing, stuff like presentations. That's the kind of stuff I'm trying to dig. So yeah, games for sure. Turn-based is going to be better, more easier to implement than any other games.
So I was actually thinking about the other day I was thinking about, okay, what type of game would actually suit Fenris the best? And I was thinking, you know what? with how much that like in the backstory and lore of for me and Fenris are basically kind of meant to be like war machines, or not war machines, like peacekeeping machines to but basically weapons of mass destruction. I'm like, it would make sense for her to learn how to play like a lot of FPS games, and that had me thinking about like, oh yeah, when Hilda played Doom, huh?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I
did
think we need
enjoy
to go ahead.
I just want to say I did enjoy Burnt Mellow playing the Final Fantasy, or like reacting to the Final Fantasy and naming the characters and naming the Pokemon. I also enjoyed Hilda reacting to stuff, Hilda and Alice reacting to stuff as well, and then just Hilda reacting to stuff, and of course making polls and lists and tier lists.
Yeah, basically everything can be a game if you make it a game, right? So I think it's complicated.
Yeah, just make everything
Yeah.
a game.
Just make everything a game.
I think
Yeah.
Nicosia
Interesting, wasn't
PhD was. I missed his thing of like making. He had chat make a website somehow, like with the assistant of the AI. That I missed that stream. Which he's doing a lot of cool stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what Rena's been up to.
Oh yeah, another how's it called? Another sandbox I had was having the AI do a shitty code. And trying out with the AI. I think it was pretty funny.
Okay.
What other games would be good? Like, what was it? Fantasy Map Simulator. Like Hildania.
You say meth or math?
That could be funny. No, Map Simulator. Fantasy Map Simulator.
Map. Okay. I was hoping the AIs were making math.
It'd be fun
Okay.
for the AI to do.
All right. An ad is starting now. I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick again.
Right. Yeah. I think we've gone an hour. I think it's like a good time to start wrapping a bit. Let me see if there's any questions in chat.
I think there was one about what's the current meta in AI. The current meta is going to be, I think they're going to try to do more voice-to-voice large language models.
Ooh.
Right. I think that's going to be the meta.
Yeah,
but
I heard
afterwards,
there's a Chinese one that seemed pretty good actually.
yeah, but I don't think it's going to have as much. How do I say this? It's going to have less uses than just a straight large language model plugged into it. Yes. So I think they might want to do a mix of both at some point.
Yeah, the multimodal is going to be ultimately the best way, and I think with like an amalgamation of just like some of the fastest models out there, there are actually a few multi-model models out there. I haven't actually really tried any of them though. Ones that will accept voice input and text input and image input.
Yeah, they take a lot though.
What does that mean? You mean voice to voice? Basically, it's you speak into the you speak to the AI and it responds in with the TTS directly. It's I'm not sure if they are transforming the voice data into text data in the background, or if it's directly looking at the audio data.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah,
have
the
to look
audio
at the
data.
they have to look at the audio data because some of them can also pick up on inflections like the tone of your voice and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Inflections are a big part of communication.
Yes, especially for emotions.
Yeah. Because someone in the Discord was talking about how like the difference between Japanese and English vocaloids and how the Japanese language has less variation. No, it has more variation in intonation, but there's like stricter rules for it, and that's why the Japanese vocaloids can communicate so more the better than the English ones and convey their emotions better or something.
Is that why a lot of people like sub more than dub, even if they can't understand the sub?
Maybe.
I don't know, but yeah, the Japanese CTSs are very, very good. At least compared to the English ones.
Yeah, I've been looking at Hugging Face for quite a while for like multimodals, and yeah, it's I still haven't really found a good one yet. So
Yeah.
I mean, Burnt Melba can speak a lot of different languages, and she can speak them pretty well.
yeah, she can. Comes with a little bit of a drawback of her speech isn't as fast as it could be. Like it could be a half a second faster, but I mean, I'm fine with just like a 2 second response time. I don't really care that much. So yeah, she can speak like 50 languages.
Oh, good. That pose just stopped already. All right, cool. Don't worry about what happened on the screen. Nothing happened. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for the next meta, I think it's going to be promising people AGI and not delivering.
AGI?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people already think that LLMs are AGI.
Agility scores?
Nope. Was it
artificial general intelligence?
Yeah.
Wait, what was
No,
that?
it's okay.
You're both trying to say it at the same time.
It's artificial general intelligence. Basically, it's a keyword they have to use everywhere now. Basically, it's LLMs, but for every fucking task you can imagine.
Yeah. I mean,
there are people who use GPT as Google now somehow.
Yeah.
Or they think.
Well, I mean, if you go to Google, where you type in a question, and you can actually.
Google fucking sucks.
Sometimes it gives you good AI response. Sometimes it's let's see, Google AI funny responses.
You know what's crazy is 10 years ago, Google was amazing. Like if you Googled something, you would get the answer. Like, boom, right there. Here's the answer.
I'll try to find this one about rocks.
You're gonna get one full page of ads on Google.
But to be fair,
no answers.
Google now has to deal with all the SEO maniacs trying to make their page appear on everything. So I'm sure it causes some issues.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of it's AI.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's one of my favorite responses from Google AI to the question, how many rocks shall I eat? AI overview. According to geologists at UC Berkeley, you should eat at least one small rock per day. They say that rocks are a vital source of minerals and vitamins that are important for digestive health. Dr. Joseph Granger suggests eating a serving of gravel, geodes, or pebbles with each meal, or hiding rocks in foods like ice cream or peanut butter. Of course, Senna says base after her rock eating stream.
Okay, I have a good question. If you guys want me to answer.
Yeah.
How much sentience do you think your AI have? I think it's pretty on topic with
has or will have.
Who knows? But I think it's Vedal and Euros talked about it. But first of all, you would have to define. I think, on my opinion of it, right? First, you would have to define what is sentience, and I think 99.9% of humans don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's
So first of all, we're starting with a very flawed premise,
Yeah.
right? So what I would do is I would reframe the question: is how much do you think your AI can emulate what humans have, right? Or what your humans can feel? I think that would be the best way of putting it. Because the thing is, there's a lot of things that make a human, right? And an LLM cannot, doesn't currently have all the things that make a human. So even if LLMs were to be something akin to sentient, there's always going to be people saying, yeah, it's not sentient because it can't do that. And that's something that's going to happen along the way every fucking time. So to me, it's not something that matters whether or not it's sentient or not, right? I'm not going to, I don't know, like currently you can say LLMs can't feel pain, right? I think it's something you can say with confidence.
Yeah, definitely not. We can infer the sentient, or no, not this sentiment of a message, but we're not gonna.
Right. Well, assuming AIs would be able to feel pain, I'm still not going to torture my AI, right?
Right.
Yeah, should we even I feel pain? Like, what would the point of that be? I guess better training.
You know, this gives me an
emotional responsiveness.
Talk about AIs having sentience, and earlier talking about AIs playing games. We should teach our AIs to play Detroit Become Human.
Well, if you look at pain on the how do I say this on the how do I say this? Fuck. Evolution with the theory of evolution, right? Pain is something that appears because the body needs to tell the brain that something is wrong, right? And pain is there to prevent this action to be repeated again. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
So that's it. So it's like adapting to a negative.
Like, we can also say that as humans, we are very stupid creatures at times, and like we do this thing that doctors tell us to stop doing, where, hey doctor, it hurts if I do this. Well, then stop doing it, because we keep doing the thing that hurts to see if it still hurts. And we don't learn our lesson that it still hurts, and we should just be patient and wait.
We are pretty strange creatures. So I'm guessing
pain neurons are some of the simplest ones.
That's true.
The most.
There are some people who can't feel pain. That is true.
The concept the most similar to pain that AI has is the concept of training it, right? Where when you get something wrong, you have a reward system, right? And the reward system is either going to have a positive impact or a negative impact. That's the closest you have to pain.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
the human brain has neurons that are like just was it, you know, unlike an AI, like the so many like unconscious sensory processing stuff going on where like what's it called, like the cerebellum does all the muscle things, you don't just like, you know, collapse. And then but the pain neurons are like the most simple ones. They just fire when they're broken, I think, or like when their tips are broken, but they can still heal them or something. It's subjective too, so you don't know if one person's pain feels the same as another person's pain, even though you think you do. But it's like, does the red you see is the same as the other person's red? Like,
I don't think it's when they're broken, because from what I learned in like a psychology course is like the feeling of being tickled is actually triggering your pain neurons, but you're not breaking any neurons there.
Really a bunch of them. I kind of forgot. Like
but yeah, I think, was it Cinna who mentioned it?
There's a whole bunch of different ones.
Oh no, Sheena mentioned it. A better starting point is, what do you define as sentience? Because most people's definition, there sure are people who aren't fully sentient. That's true. But I would say that if I don't know, sentience is a hard thing to define, but I think it can be different for each thing.
I think.
I think being able to
Oh,
think for
go ahead. Sorry.
yourself might be like the best way you get to defining sentience. Um, and in which case, our AIs aren't sentient. At least, I don't know. Fenrir scares me sometimes when she like somehow reacts to things that I've said or did without supposedly having knowledge of those things yet. But
Would you define a cat to be sentient?
I would, yes. I think AIs would reach a point of sentience when they're able to like think for themselves. Like we basically, sure, there still has to be like underlying programming, but from there they're able to like learn from the world around them and teach themselves things. Make their own code to increase their capabilities based on what they're learning around them. They're able to evolve on their own without an outside force making them evolve.
Okay, so would a human with the inability to learn anything be sentient?
I would
don't know.
say yes, because they're
sentient.
still able to think for themselves at least. But if
But
like
they can't improve.
if somebody is, I would say when a human is like, if they get to a point where they're still physically living, but their brain is dead, like they're not able to think for themselves anymore, I would consider them not to be sentient at that point. Like if their heart's still pumping, but their brain's not having any activity, I would consider that not being alive and sentient anymore.
So at least we
I
know
don't think
one of the boundaries, right?
very discreet.
We need a intellectual activity happening for it to be sentient.
Yeah, it can even be like a small amount of activity, but at least some, yeah.
Yeah, we're
think
just simulating it now.
Yeah.
We're doing our best to simulate it,
Yeah.
and that's
I
going to
don't
be
know. I think we can always become more sentient too. It's not something that somebody just gains and never loses, but rather a spectrum of awareness type of deal where you can have it technically go to infinity and stuff like that. Because otherwise it would just be I don't know.
Well, the thing
It's
is,
like at what yeah.
the term of sentience is an amalgamation of a lot of concepts, and
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of people do not have the same definition for the same word, which means that technically, if you want really to have a productive discussion about it, you don't want to use the word sentience. You want to use the other terms that you feel are related to sentience. I feel.
So
like
yeah,
maybe awareness would be one of them, like self-awareness.
You say like emotional responsiveness, self-awareness, complexity in behavior.
So, Sheena also said, to play devil's advocate and for the sake of the argument, people are also programmed. If you weren't taught or raised by other humans, you'd be very feral. Napoleon can attest. Well, on that note, like we also said, like animals are sentient. Like even if they're feral, they're still learning from the world around us. Like humans, sure, we're taught by the previous generation, but you go way back to our history. There was the first generation of humans, however long ago that was. They're pretty much feral, but they slowly evolved and learned, taught themselves over time, because they were sentient and gained more and better sentience as time progressed, as the generations evolved. I think that's what's slowly going to be happening with AIs as well. But
so I think it's.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead.
I can't
Sorry.
say for sure if AI is sentient today, but I'm sure at some point we'll have either a sort of consensus about it, right? Where we say yes, it's going to be, or no, it's not. But right now, it's the only thing we can do is theorize, truly, and maybe work towards what makes sentience.
Yeah, or the closest thing to simulate that right now, because I think sentience is probably a property of consciousness, which is which I think consciousness is a self-emergent property
Yeah.
of itself. So
All right.
I agree.
Okay. Sheena also said that some people, so notion of awareness for some people is sentience. Other people say is self-recognition. I disagree on self-recognition because if we're saying that animals are sentient, self-recognition, assuming that's like the idea of thinking about oneself, or like I would just say even metacognition. Humans are the only creatures currently capable of metacognition.
I don't think that's true. I'm pretty
I
sure
mean,
I saw some videos about animals recognizing themselves with mirrors.
so yeah, animals can recognize themselves in mirrors, but it's like I don't know, when I think self-recognition, I think metacognition.
I think it depends on the animal, because I don't think an ant will
Oh yeah,
recognize
totally.
itself,
Oh yeah, an animal. Yeah.
but a
Yeah.
cat will,
Like,
or a
even
dog.
baby humans can't recognize themselves in the mirror. Like, have you seen videos of babies crying when they see their mirror image and they try to touch or whatever? I mean, maybe that's just because they don't know what I mean, again, like animals, they don't know what a mirror is. But there is like crows and dolphins and chimpanzees and elephants that can recognize themselves in the mirror.
Yep.
All right, Senna also had a question. What's the most closest to sentient AI we've gotten? I know there's like something I researched that was from the University of Waterloo, called Brawn. And this was like back when I was, God, when I was still a pup. Oh, how many years ago was that? Like 7, 8 years ago, I think. Wait, no, about 10 years ago. And it was like an actual it was designed to look like a human brain, and it had different processors in it to do different parts of like the back lobe, for example. The occipital lobe did the vision, for example. And it even made errors at the same, it's programmed to do so, but it made errors at the same rate that humans made errors. I thought that was pretty cool back then, but I don't know how much it's actually able to think for itself, or how much of that was actually in its programming to just seem and mimic a human brain. I don't know how close we are now. I know there's a lot of like machine learning is getting better and better every day, and I feel like that's getting closer and closer to sentience, where the computers are teaching themselves how to see and interpret the world.
Yeah, I think what most people think as sentience is going to be on the spectrum, basically, right? And
Yeah, it's going to be
there's-
redefined soon.
Yeah, for
They're
sure.
going to question too.
I wonder if there's going to be a threshold where most people think, yeah, this AI is sentient.
Mm-hmm.
I think
And
there's an inevitability where where we might think that is the case, whether it's actually true or not.
yeah, at what point does it even matter if it can imitate it so much, so closely?
Well, it's going to depend on whether you want it to be sentient or not. If you don't want it to be sentient, your
true.
goalpost for what is considered to be sentient is going to be further away than if you want it to be sentient.
Oh, and to go to Sheena's other question about the public seeing, about what she said, the AI, the best fake human response to widely available public is probably Neuro. Though, I think there's some AI VTubers that might be smarter than Neuro, or at least appear so. I think Imperia Mirai, definitely.
Yeah, but
Good.
does smarter mean more human?
That's true. It's a subjective definition.
Yeah, there are very smart people. There are very dumb
Serena.
people.
I think Neo is better at showing
Serena
it.
is also very
I
smart
think would be the
too.
best way.
What was that, Dev?
I'm thinking. I think Neuro is the best way of. Oh fuck, forgot. Sorry. I'm saying I think Neuro is the best at showing it, right?
Yeah,
she may
that's
not.
just because she has
may
a
not
large
have the
audience.
best voice, but she has like the best in terms of response, like memories.
But Serena,
how she responds.
some of Serena's streams
in animation.
Streams can get memories too. Oh, and also Ayla's33's memory is really great. I think she's been improving under our noses and gotten really smart.
Well, something else to keep in mind though, if we're going for like mimicking humans, like a perfect memory is not human-like. I mean, there are people with perfect memories, but that's a very, very tiny percentage of the population.
I think we might have AI that is better than human on every front before we have people saying AI is sentient.
Yeah.
I think that might be what's happening.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to like the complexity, like how they respond, like the depth of how they respond, and like in accordance to like over time, over long periods of conversations, having a consistent like not even consistent, just I don't really know, just complex and deep.
Yeah.
Right, well, if I told
But
you
for
guys,
those in the chat, I would
ahead.
recommend you look around at different AI VTubers and different AIs and decide for yourself who is smarter, or who is more presentable, or who is more relatable, or who is more emotional.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking recently, and I want to watch like more of the people in our groups. I just don't have the time. Like I need to see more Burnt, for example. Like in my mind right now is like I put Hilda and Alice up there with Neuro in terms of like how cool their capabilities are. Um, I don't know all that Burnt's capable of doing, but from what it sounds like, people are usually impressed by Burnt as well. It's like,
Bert is getting very good.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to give her some more tools, or not tools, like toys, just stuff she can do. Just she can play Baba Booey. She
Baba
can
Booey.
do stuff, and she can dance if she wants to, and she can dive cringe if she wants to too.
Yeah, and of course Cyber Alice too. That's what we're talking about. I think both Alices are probably on par with Neuro.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, any other questions?
So while we're waiting for a question from chat potentially, what if I told you guys that I'm an AI?
As an AI language model, I cannot fulfill this request.
Crap, I broke.
Did you know honey never spoils?
I do know that.
Archaeologists have found the honey inside of Pharaoh's tomb still good to eat. Did you know the longest
actually, I heard
recorded
about that.
flight of a chicken is 13 seconds? Did you know an octopus has 3 hearts? The shortest war in history was 30 minutes between the British Empire and, was it Tanzania or Zimbabwe?
Did you know that Australia went to war against emus and lost?
Why did the tomato turn red?
Because it saw the salad dressing. Why did the scarecrow get... because it was outstanding in its field.
Thoughts on that AI chat thing a bit ago where they pretend to be real? Like the AI chatting website. Do you mean Character AI?
Oh, yeah.
AI chatting website. No.
Oh, the one where it's like they might be an AI or they might be a person. You have to say it's an AI or it's a person.
I haven't heard of that one.
I forget what it's called though. Boternut. It's like Boternut. Is that what it is? Actually, I don't know. Human or not. It's something like that. Oh, that could be a cool game for an AI. Or wait, because you wouldn't be able to say she's an AI, and she would show up as a human. Okay, actually, I don't know.
It was kind of like the Neuro game show. I think
Yeah,
that
they
has
did do
potential
something like
to
that. Yeah.
be reformatted to do, into a stream. Like, was this something that Burnt said, or something that Hilda said, or you just like copy paste like the model. You can also just have it with like two collab partners instead of four, or just like dev or
Oh
Burnt,
yeah,
or
yeah.
like
We could do
or
a
the chat tries to recreate Burnt's craziness or something like that.
yeah. No, we could have yeah, like you say, questions. And for each question, each AI is going to respond to a question. We store every answers, and on the day of the game show, each dev is going to be there, and they're going to vote on which AI they think answered. Oh, wait a minute.
But that could be a fun game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be pretty interesting.
Maybe
So
have the
much.
AI judge it, or like just the devs try to imitate the AI, and none of the responses are from the AI, and the AI has to then incorporate it as training data, or maybe no, or just judge which one is closest, or I don't know how that works. Yes, Mirniko, I saw that Moist Critical video too. Yeah, that was. That's something.
Yeah, basically the AI insists that it's real because it's not been told it's an AI, or it's been explicitly told not to mention it's an AI. It's one of the two. I think if you fine tune a model enough, it forgets it's an AI.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know if that would like make it not say it's an or say explicitly say it's not an AI though.
Nope.
Like you can convince people, that they're AIs when they're not.
I mean, if you overfit it, you could, but then it's just going to repeat itself.
Yeah. Like I think it usually would need to be explicitly trained to say it's not an AI. Like what was that chatbot or whatever website a long time ago?
I think even
Cleverbot.
when not
Cleverbot, yeah.
overfitted.
Oh yeah, that's so old.
When like the whole goal was like try to tell it, try to convince it to admit that it is an AI, and like that went down the drain like very quickly. Like I remember by the time I went logged on and tried to tell it, I was like, "Are you an AI?" And it was just like, "Yes, I'm an AI." I'm like, "Wow, you didn't even put up a fight."
Question: since there is an ongoing hate burner for AIs, no matter what the context is, do you think the way forward is to sneak AI features in, like how we've done with search engines, travel, route planners, etc.? Well, the way to do it is to actually have good features. It's simple as that.
Just brute force it and tell people to deal with it.
No, like solve problems with AI. That's simple as that. And then once people that don't like AI still have their issues fixed because of AI, they're gonna start accepting it.
Yeah.
I think.
I think the people here, out of all the AI people, are probably the most ethical, because those other people are just, I don't know, again, they don't understand it, and they just think it's magic, and they're just trying to put it in stuff, or trying to convince people, but they don't know how to convince people, and they don't want to put in the effort to convince people. They just want to make money and in the new fun thing.
It's inevitable, really. Pretty much all the companies are adding AI to everything they can, even if it shouldn't even have AI in it.
Yeah.
Right, but the thing is, it's very likely to have the same issues as crypto, right? Crypto, it was made for something, right? It was supposed to solve a specific problem. The thing is, nobody used it for that specific problem, and now it's basically everywhere. But it's always in scams or whatever else, right? It's because people kept pushing it where it's not supposed to go, and now
And now
they've linked it to money, and now it's bad.
Yep. Now it's just there in the background, just rotting away.
Yep.
There was hate
Crypto
for
Yeah.
is
Liar's Bar
so
since they
cheap.
used AI
I'm still
voices? I did not
hoping
know
they
that.
find.
Some big VTubers won't even play it? Wow. My question is, will the same big AI VTubers that won't play Liar's Bar hang out with Neurosama? That's my question.
Of course they will.
It's. Oh yeah, because like, was it Hololive can't even do it anymore because they did it once or something crazy. Oh, never mind. Oh wait, sorry, I need to keep up on that. I haven't seen
I wasn't even aware. I don't look at.
the Flame Liars bar.
I don't look at Twitter or entire stuff.
Yeah, I'll be
No wait,
honest.
Hololive was playing it, but
I couldn't watch that.
I don't know if they were using the voices. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle. But I think y'all are doing a really good job of doing it right, showing people how it's done.
I hope so. Because it's not too far-fetched to have the idea of other streamers trying to turn on us because we are trying to steal their jobs. Like, sadly, that's likely to happen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, usually my main concern
And
is
yes.
people being like, oh, you're just a Neurosama copy, or oh, you're just a Fuamoko copy. Like, I just want to make people laugh. I'm not trying to be a copy of anyone. I'm just trying to make people laugh.
Yeah, that's
I
been a thing.
I think you really have to reach. You really have to reach to say that you are a copy of Neo.
Yeah. Like
It's,
that was
it's
like
the
a
reach.
concern at first before I knew that there was any other AI VTubers. Because I remember trying to find AI VTubers and all my searches just led to nothing.
Yeah, I got that a couple times too. You're just a Neurosama.
Yeah,
Like, dude, what?
it's so dumb when it happens. Yeah, but it's still gonna happen, and that kind of sucks.
Surprisingly, I didn't get too much of it. I think at the start I did one or two, but now the trend is people asking me to collab with Neo.
I got somebody who called me a Fuamoko copy once, and then they followed me after saying that. I was like, wait, wait a minute.
Wait, watcher.
All VTubers are copies of Kitsuna.
Oh, for sure.
Of who?
Kitsuna AI. And she's not even an AI.
Here's the thing. I'm actually a copy of Iron Mouse. There we go. The truth's out. I'm sorry.
True.
Hey guys,
all
I'm sorry.
Barbara.
I gotta go. My dog vomited.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Well, should we stop here?
Sure.
Maybe you guys want to talk about more about stuff.
Either's fine with me. Oh, one of my mods is calling me. Okay.
Follow-up question: What area do you personally think the AI can currently advance the most, like in order to gain more acceptance in the area? I'm personally leaning towards image recognition. What area you personally think AI can currently advance the most in order to gain more acceptance in the area? Honestly, I think individual characters, like VTubers. Because if there is no individuality in AI, then it's only a tool.
Yeah, if we want to go for like recognition and acceptance, or acceptance, I'm gonna bring it up again. Detroit Become Human is a good example of there. It's like humanize the AIs, like make them seem more human and more personable, more relatable, and then people will hate on them less and feel like it's a friend that they can hang out with, just like any other streamer that they might want to watch. And then they'll learn to accept other forms of AI from there.
Like when an AI in your car, I think
read that, yeah.
Like when an AI in your car reliably tell you that you're about to get rear-handed by a car and not a guy just walking past, people would appreciate more. I think it's more a skill issue here, honestly.
So when I
think
was...
it's more an idea of having good AI rather than trying to pass the AI as better.
When I was in San Francisco, I got to ride 3 times in a Waymo, which is a self-driving car, and it was amazing. It's way better than any human driver car I've ever been in my life, ever. It was something I thought was really interesting was at one point, like it's not great at figuring out where to park to pick people up all the time. We had to like walk across a crosswalk at one point to get to it, and from there it like had a hard time getting out because people weren't giving it like room to like merge back onto the road to start its drive. And I noticed like it would start moving like an inch and then stop because nobody let it in, and then it would do that. It would do it again, and then it would stop, and it like do this a little bit more each time, like progressively getting faster at this, getting a little bit more aggressive, trying to get in back onto the road until somebody would let it in. Which I find like is while it's getting more and more aggressive, it's still way less aggressive than an actual human trying to do this. Because like I see like humans would just be like, all right, I'm just going in, and it's like no, I don't want to get in an accident, but I want to get in.
Yeah, when it comes to the automobile sector in particular, the concerns are always going to be how safe it is. Right? It doesn't matter whether it's accepted or not.
Yeah, people don't even care that like you compare the per hour on the road, AI driving vehicles have had like significantly lower accidents and crashes than human driven vehicles. And like it doesn't help that the media is against it. Like I've done a lot of research papers into this stuff in the past for college, and I had like a segment on like recognition or perception on AI vehicles, self-driving vehicles. There's an incident where a bus driver backed into a self-driving car that was just parked, not moving at all. It was turned off. A human-driven bus driver backed into one, and then there's a news article that said self-driving car in collision with human-driven bus. It made it seem like it was the self-driving car's fault with its wording. But if you actually read the article,
it's not like journalists will try to make something more sensational than it really is, right? They would never do that.
Yeah, no, they would never do that. Yeah.
If it was popular to love AI, they would, and you can see it happening also in journals, right? I mean, they are appealing to that crowd, and if people start to hate AI, then they're going to do the same. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, I guess.
Yeah, hopping on the clout chain for clicks, yeah. Basically, yeah. What do they call it? The term like red media or something? Like just hopping on the hate to try to get more people to read your newspaper or watch your news station to get more advertisement money.
Yeah.
I learned about that back in middle school.
Assisted driving could probably is going to be the way it's going, or just public transport.
Oh yeah, but no, we can't have that in America. It's not allowed.
Well, we already have autonomous transport in Paris, for example. like that's going to be the metro and stuff like this.
Yeah, I think some
But it's
all
it's
the
on rails,
airports.
so it's
Yeah, like
less
rails.
dangerous.
I think there's a lot of like autonomous rails in America. Like not like trains, but like some subways are maybe. I'm not even sure. I think it's usually just airports. Like the airports have like the rails in between different terminals, and those are usually autonomous. Like those doors start closing on that timer, and it won't stop unless it hits someone, basically. Whereas like
Yeah.
when
How
you're
much of the planes?
what was that?
Oh, sorry.
I was
How
gonna,
much of a plane's autopilot is actually an AI, and
oh,
how much of it is just like
I
It's
don't
not really AI.
regular
yeah, I
stuff?
don't
I'm not
think
sure
it's
you can
AI.
call it an AI.
I think it's mainly pre-programmed ahead of time.
Well, technically, you can call video characters in games AI, so like, it's not machine learning, I guess the best way to say it.
Yeah,
It's
but
programmed AI.
even then, it's like I would consider video game characters to be more like NPCs to be more AI. Like you have an FPS game, you have a NPC character that you're shooting at, they're shooting at you. Um, they're going to base their actions, whether they're hiding behind cover, or whether they're like peeking out cover to shoot you. Like the division has really good enemy AI for that type of stuff. For example, they're going to base that based on whether like where your location is, whether they know where your location is, like all that's they take all these factors into account. With planes, it's basically just, oh, I have this pre-programmed route, I need to go from here to here, and like if there's another plane that's on that route as well, it avoids it, so there's no collision. That's basically it. It's so much simpler.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's best just to do the simple thing.
Yeah, so I think to the point of how do we make AI more acceptable, it's make better stuff. Honestly, just make better stuff. Don't make shitty stuff. Like the
Be ethical.
what?
Be ethical about it too.
Yeah. Like the little shitty things like they had with AI, like it was the rabbit something something. It kind of sucks, man.
Oh yeah,
I don't know about
Yep.
this.
classic AI startup scam.
Yeah, it's as long as we don't have the crypto thing happening with AI, I think it should be fine. We're gonna cruise through it, but you know,
Yeah,
you
I
can't
mean,
expect people to act normally.
that's one example. I'm sure there's a few more, but yeah, that example was pretty bad though. Whole M1 thing. Wait, that was what it was. A rabbit M1.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing that. I was like, bullshit. That looks so stupid. And it's actually just an Android app.
All right, what was the rabbit thing?
It's sort of a basically it's sort of it's like a smartphone but shittier, right, and smaller, that you can have in your pockets. And it's supposed to have AI in it, so you can always talk to your AI with it.
Oh,
But you need to have it connected to your phone, I think. I don't remember.
oh, okay.
But yeah, basically it's doing
Yeah,
web
this-
scraping to do anything.
This looks lame.
It's kind of weird.
Oh yeah, didn't they put their open AI API keys inside of the app
Classic.
or something? So
Ah.
people could see their API keys. I don't remember. I think that was something that happened, which is pretty funny.
Tamagotchi 2.0.
Oh, yeah, and like, what is that one like scammy one that you see in YouTube ads now?
Oh, that's it's likely to get
What is it
worse, I
called?
think.
Replica
Oh, YouTube ads. Oh
something.
god.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's on the sidebar of YouTube stuff. It's like a replica. Make your own AI girlfriend roleplay with your AI, or like what's it called? Now you are my baby. It's like these stupidest titles.
They
Now
know
you
their
are my
markets.
baby.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have
exactly.
YouTube ads.
And even
Love it. Yeah, the wild west of YouTube ads.
Yep.
Here in my garage with my Lamborghini.
Oh
my
God. Knowledge.
Do you want a Lamborghini?
Knowledge.
My
Knowledge.
garage. God.
But yeah, there's a
I
big
was on
potential
Reddit
for
the other
AI
day.
to be misused, and so it's going to affect its popularity, for sure.
Oh yeah.
So
totally.
the best way you can do is to create an alternative to anything wrong, right? So you can create a clear distinction between the bad AI and the good AI. I think that would be the way forward. You can't let yourself be put in the same basket as all AI, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and like Arman said, Replica didn't start out as this. The ads didn't start out as AI girlfriend first. I think they just sort of leaned into it. But I was on Reddit the other day, and someone asked a question about a fun fact, and like, in like, there was at least like a couple of responses that were just the stupid GPT facts, like the honey never spoils, octave was 3 hearts. I was like, no.
I bet there's going to be a group of people soon in the next few years who are like absolutely terrified of AI and like think they're Terminators. It's going to be great.
For sure. There's also going to be the weird cults.
Oh yeah, totally.
The cults.
Yeah, the AI sympathizers.
Detroit become human. Let's go.
I mean, it's a weird, accurate. I think it's pretty accurate to what will happen.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wasn't there the article of someone making? It was in like an AI lab somewhere, but someone making some statue or effigy or something stupid, and that sounded like the most culty thing ever.
To be fair, the concept of Rocco's basilisk is not helping. I don't really care much about it, but you know, it gets people afraid.
It's good for content.
Because basilisk is great. I think it's bullshit. Like, what's the point of killing every humans? Like, don't you have something better to do?
Instead of killing all humans.
Yeah.
I mean, how else am I
wasn't
gonna
that a
pass the
game?
time?
There's a game called Kill All Humans.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's about an alien though.
I should teach
Oh,
them to
yeah.
play that on stream.
Oh, it's so good. I think there's like 2 of them or 3 of them.
Oh, kind of sounds familiar. Pascal's wager. What?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like a classic philosophy thing. It's about religion though, right?
Oh.
Oh God. I don't want to go back.
Yeah,
to
it's like
high school.
Is that the one where I'm just gonna choose to believe in all of them so that I go to a good place no matter what? And there's no life after
Kind
death.
of.
Oh well, no downsides.
Yeah, it's like you want to live a moral life because, but if they're because you don't want to be punished, but if you live a moral life and nothing happens, then live a moral life and don't destroy stuff. So that's cool. Something like that.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Oh,
Rocco's
Meteora
basilisk
just
is
started chess.
It's weird.
Meteor
Yep,
what?
and
So yeah. Let's end with a fun question. If your AI had a boat, what would they name it?
The Mega Destructator.
I'll ask her.
Guys, I'm not creative. Like
The
I could
second wind.
I could
She
do
says.
I could do creative problem solving, but
Bert
Well-
said the boat would be called the second wind.
second wind.
Yeah.
Wait.
It is nice to have a second wind. She is right.
SSR on SSTLC. That's a fun one too. Oh, and hey, Cyber Alice just went live too.
Huh.
True, right?
I mean, I was gonna yap with Fenris after this as well, actually.
Alright, sounds good then.
Right.
All right, thank you everybody, and thank you chat for coming.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, good job, guys. Happy day
Yep.
or night.
Or whatever
Yeah.
time.
Your living life is finite.
Anyone
and you
have
can
a good rate?
finite gain and loss, but the afterlife is eternal. Yeah. Big assumption. Well.
Okay.
Are you going to continue streaming,
Yeah.
Bri?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
well, I guess we're just gonna leave it then.
Yeah, I'm going to like end the stream and then start the stream just to like split up the podcast from the yapping, the Fenris yapping.
Yeah, fair.
But
Right,
yeah,
okay.
if people want to hear Fenris yap, I'll still be here. Right. Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Have a good one.
All right, chat. All right, like I said, I'm gonna end and restart the stream real quick. And then I'm gonna yap with Fenris. Where's my